I'm going to leave out the front door, and because I think everyone knows I've given everything for this club. The club means everything to me, and together we're a good match. But unfortunately, I couldn't get the results that we needed, and it's time for me to step aside.
Manchester United fans, in my last video, I explained in full details why the board decided to sack Amorim and everything that happened behind the scenes between Ruben Amorim and the Manchester United board. Today, we move forward. Today, I want to focus completely on what comes next and how we can actually rise from this situation. In this video, I'm going to break down the way forward, the things we should stop doing as fans, and the steps I believe can help us stabilize things again. I will be talking about my favorite candidate for the interim managerial role, and I'll explain clearly why I think he is the best option to take charge until the end of the season. I'll also be sharing my predicted lineup for our game against Burnley, a lineup that I genuinely believe gives us the best chance of getting all 3 points away from home. So please, don't click away, stay with me until the very end, because everything we talk about here is based on facts, not clickbait and not media hype. Kindly drop a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications so you never miss any of my videos. Now, before we fully talk about the way forward, there are some very important issues that we must address first. These are problems that, if ignored, can drag us right back into the same situation next season, the same frustration, the same cycle. This keeps happening to us over and over again, and it's time we sit down and talk about it properly so we don't continue going round in circles. The only real way we move forward is by addressing these issues clearly and creating as much awareness as possible in the media space. Now let's start from the Manchester United board and the owners, because this is where everything truly begins. Why did the Glazers partner with INEOS in the first place? The whole point was supposed to be investment, serious investment, money coming into the club so we could rebuild properly, sign the players we desperately need, and finally return Manchester United to the level where this club belongs. But here we are, barely 2 years into this partnership, and suddenly we are hearing that there is no more money to spend, no more funds to improve the squad. So if the Glazers already knew that INEOS didn't have the financial muscle to complete a full rebuild, why partner with them at all? Why didn't they simply sell the club to the people who were genuinely ready to buy, invest heavily, and give us the quality we need to compete at the very top level again? It was all because of their selfish interest. They don't care about the football of this club, they are just concerned about what profits they make off the club. There was a clear agreement between the board and Ruben Amorim before he signed for Manchester United. They told him they would back him, they would bring in the players needed so he could perfect his system and build something long-term.
So I'm not going to get with Jason and Omar, and I'm going to say we need a lot of players because we have a plan. If we have to suffer, the club comes first. Of course, we are in the moment that we need points, but we need to find solutions, and we are going to continue with our plan, of course.
But fast forward to today and every single promise has been broken. Suddenly, there's no money, suddenly everything has changed, and now they were forcing him to abandon his plans, forcing him to change his setup, and putting pressure on him simply because they know they can't buy the players needed to make the agreed system work, which wasn't part of the original plan. Remember what Ratcliffe said towards the end of last year? He clearly stated that Amorim would be given 3 years to prove himself.
We have to be patient, and we have a long-term plan. It isn't a light switch. And you can't run a club like Manchester United on knee-jerk reactions to some journalist who goes off on one. He needs to demonstrate that he's a great coach over 3 years.
So you give him 3 years?
Yeah, that's where I would be. Yeah, 3 years, because...
And that statement alone proves exactly what I am saying. They knew from the beginning that the squad was not complete. The idea was to sign players across multiple transfer windows, slowly build the squad, allow the players to understand the system, and then after 3 years they will now judge the manager fairly. But now, the same man who promised time and support has turned around and sacked Amorim simply because he spoke the truth and refused to become a puppet to the board. And that's why I keep saying this, until the board and the owners finally decide to take responsibility, do the right thing, and stop constantly sacking managers, we are going to continue moving in circles, repeating the same story over and over again, and nothing will truly change. Now let me talk about the fans, because this part is really, really important and it has to be said. Do you all remember when Ole was the manager of Manchester United? So many fans and even pundits kept saying Ole was just a PE teacher, that he was clueless, that he had no real style of play. They said all he did was counter-attack football. And what hurt me the most was when people said he was too kind with the players. They complained that he was too soft, that he couldn't control the dressing room, that the players were acting like they were bigger than the club and still weren't doing enough on the pitch. Eventually, Ole got sacked. Fast forward to Ruben Amorim. He came in and did the exact opposite. He was ruthless when he needed to be. He removed players who thought they were bigger than the club. He dealt with those who brought negative energy into the dressing room. He created discipline, he demanded standards, and he rewarded players based on performance, not on name or reputation. But now, those same fans who once complained that Ole was too soft are suddenly saying Amorim is too hard, that he has too many issues with players, that he is the reason players were sent away, even though they know exactly what happened with those situations. It feels like no matter who comes to Manchester United, there is always something to complain about. If the manager is soft, they say he is weak. If the manager is strict, they say he is the problem. And the reason I am taking my time to explain this is because if we don't change these narratives and this constant cycle of blaming every single manager, then honestly, no coach will ever survive at this club, and if we don't stop listening to these pundits who don't even know how to manage a championship team, this agenda won't stop. Secondly, some fans said he deserved to be sacked simply because they said he wasn't flexible with his formation. But let's slow down and really think about that. We have already gone through 6 different managers and 3 interim coaches. All of them tried the famous 4-man defense that fans always scream about, and every single one of them still got sacked. So what exactly is this obsession with the 4-man back? If that system was truly the magic solution, then why didn't any of those 6 managers succeed with it at Manchester United? That's the big question nobody wants to answer. And what makes everything even crazier is that many fans didn't actually listen to what Amorim himself was saying.
You're saying, I understand that you've got an idea and this is how you will play. I completely understand that. So are you saying that there will never be a tweak to your formation? You might play a 4 at the back, you might... No. I mean,
We will do it. We have to do it. And when I talk about our structure, you don't know it very well, but I believe we can play in different systems. So we defend more in this game, sometimes in 4-4-2, because Ahmad was with the left back. So we want to put the structure before, and then we have to play in different systems, because nowadays every team changed the dynamics. So we will adapt that. We're just starting with the beginning, and then after that we will start with different things. But
people kept repeating, he's not flexible, he won't change, but they ignored his words. He clearly explained that he was going to change the setup. But first, he needed the players to fully understand the main system. Then, once that foundation was strong, he would adapt it into other shapes and formations. Amorim actually wanted flexibility, but real flexibility comes after perfection, not before. Because if you keep switching styles every week without mastering anything, there will be zero progress. Players won't understand their roles, they won't build chemistry, and nothing will work. It's like trying to teach school students English, mathematics, and 5 other subjects all at once. How will they truly understand anything? Amorim was rebuilding this team from the ground up. He had players who weren't even good enough yet, but he was trying to make them understand one clear structure first. From there, that same system could easily transform into different shapes, from 3-4-3 into 4-4-2, 5-3-2, 5-4-1, even 4-2-3-1. One strong setup unlocking many others. That was his idea, that was his work, and that is exactly why the board brought him to Manchester United in the first place. People always say, look at Pep Guardiola, he adapted. Yes, he did, but he started by mastering one thing at a time. He perfected one structure, then another, and only after building that foundation could he play any formation he wanted. But fans today want instant results. They don't want patience. They don't want growth. They can't wait for perfection. And because of that pressure, the board never fully supported Amorim long enough to perfect his system. a system that could have adapted into many different ones naturally. Instead, fans kept shouting for something new, new coach, new system, new formation, new everything. They don't care what you are building, they just want wins immediately. But when a coach changes systems quickly, picks up short-term results, and everything eventually collapses because there was no foundation, those same fans turn around, blame him again, and he gets sacked. Now let's finally get into the main topic of today, the real question everybody is asking: who should be the next interim coach to guide Manchester United through the rest of this season? For me, the answer is simple, and some people may agree while others may fight it, but my choice is Ole. I genuinely believe Ole still has unfinished business at this club. He wasn't a bad coach like many people made him look. He had ideas, he had a plan, and he actually played a style of football that many United fans would probably appreciate more right now. But back then, the same fans who now miss him were shouting for him to be sacked. Yes, I want Ole back, but only as an interim, just until the end of this season. I want Ole because his football is close to what Manchester United have traditionally been known for, and it suits the players we currently have. His 4-2-3-1 counter-attacking setup works especially well with our squad. Most of the players available can fit into that shape, at least for now. Against bigger teams, he sits compact, absorbs pressure, then hits on the brake. Against smaller teams, he tries to control possession. But he still keeps that identity of using proper wide players and traditional wingers. And even though we don't have a huge number of wingers, we still have enough players who can perform that role and do the job till the season ends. That's why I believe with the squad we have right now, Ole can help us get more out of these players. Maybe not perfect football, maybe not long-term greatness, but at least stability, structure, and a system everyone understands until the season is over. This whole thing is simply a short-term solution. It's not permanent, it's not the ultimate answer, and it's definitely not something that will last for years. It's just something to carry us through for now, at least until the end of the season. Bruno and Mount are back, and that already changes a lot. I remember clearly how many fans were always shouting for Mainu to play, and that was fine, but anyone watching honestly could see that he didn't fully fit into Amorim's main primary system, especially that 3-4-2-1 setup. Now, with this change, Mainu will naturally get more minutes, more responsibility, and more involvement, but at the same time, we must prepare ourselves for reality. Some players are going to sit on the bench. Ole is not going to play everyone we want at the same time. He may not use Ahmad and Bumo together. He may not even play Bruno and Mount together all the time either. And that's normal. Every manager has players that fit his idea and others who miss out. Fans hate it, but it's football. Not everybody will get the minutes they want, and we have to accept that instead of fighting every coach. There is no magic wand here. No matter who becomes interim manager, he won't suddenly transform everything overnight. There won't be miracles. If somehow we manage to get Champions League football, that would be amazing, but if we don't, we must be mature enough to understand the phase we are currently in. Whatever happens under this interim manager, we simply have to accept it and let him finish the season. Then we move forward and wait for the new permanent manager. And even when that new manager arrives, we still need patience, because rebuilding takes time. Sacking coaches over and over again always resets everything. Every new manager has to start again, build his philosophy again, rebuild the squad again. Rome wasn't built in one day, and Manchester United will not be rebuilt in one season either. Now let me share my best starting 11 for the game against Burnley. Bruno and Mount are both back in the squad, but for this match, I'm starting Bruno and keeping Mount on the bench so he can be introduced gradually. Fletcher already confirmed that both of them are available for selection, but he also hinted that they will be managed carefully and probably eased in with limited minutes. That's exactly why I'm starting Bruno ahead of Mount. Bruno is not injury-prone, he rarely lacks match fitness, and he has started training. On top of that, he is still one of the most influential players in this team. His mentality, creativity, and leadership are just too important for us to leave out. So for me, he has to start against Burnley. We are lining up in a 4-2-3-1 setup. In goal, I'm going with Lamans. At centre-back, it's Martinez partnering with Heaven, solid, experienced, and comfortable on the ball. Then we have Shaw and Dalot as our full-backs, offering both defensive support and width going forward. In midfield, Casemiro and Ugarte sit together as the double pivot, protecting the defense and controlling the game from deep. Bruno then operates as our number 10, pulling the strings and linking midfield to attack. On the flanks, we have Cunha and Dorgu providing pace, energy, and width, while Xerxes leads the line as our main striker up front. That's the team I believe gives us the best balance to go to Burnley and take all 3 points.